Hey, so I heard from some of you couldn't hear me okay, so sorry about that. I basically bought a new laptop which was, to be blunt, pretty shit, an SGIN one which didn't work well. So that's the reason you couldn't hear me well, and also for reasons that it seems to be designed bad because it often makes loud sounds even when I'm doing nothing with it, so it's obviously been designed wrong. So anyway, I just gone back to my Chromebook. So anyway, let's get into Visual Studio Code a bit. So why exactly is Visual Studio Code so powerful or such a great piece of software? Well, it allows you to basically code in whatever you want to do. For example, we can see some examples here. Python works really great on it. You can as well install extensions. Extensions itself can be used to basically make things run better for you, make things work better, more easy for you. You can do a lot of sort of stylization in it, or to change it to suit whatever your preference is. That's what something that's a very good piece of software doing. Is basically the best, I would say. Now I know some people prefer other ones. That's kind of down to you if you like something else and keep using that. So anyway, in regards to software, the point that I wanted to make, which I guess you could hear okay, was really this. One of the biggest problems we have in the SEO community, or really the community in general, is people often make software which is meant to do one thing. If we use this example, when we're using Visual Studio Code, it's to allow us to do coding work. That's basically what it's here for. Allow us to make a Python app, a Python site, allow us to make a Julia app, a Julia site, that kind of stuff. That's what it's here for. Or some other software. That's what it's designed for. Or allowing designers to basically work in the programming field, developing field, that kind of stuff. That's what it's here for. And that's what's really, really fantastic. It is probably the best software you can get in that area. Like other people, you might prefer something, say, a bit more simple, like, Notepad Plus. If that's what you prefer, then use that. Something wrong with Notepad Plus or something else. You can also use the free version, which is good enough, or you can use the paid version. It's really your choice how you want to go about it. But in regards to sort of SEO softwares, I often find people do these things wrong all the time. For example, if we use the basic thing which is most important in SEO, backlinks themselves are still the biggest, most important thing. I know some people claim this is not true, you're wrong, you're lying. Trust me, it's the most important in most cases. It's still a gigantic ranking factor in how Google works, Yandex works, and most other search engines in the world. So you need high quality backlinks in order to get people to click your site or find your keywords when they type in words, product names, that kind of stuff, or your service or your brand name into Google or another search engine. So backlinks are important. But let's just say we start including things which don't matter. Let's just say they want us now to pay for, a on-page checker. Is that gonna do us any good? In a lot of cases, no. In software cases, you generally best to stick to one or two things. If you start making your software do everything, then over time it starts to go down and down and down until basically nothing works. And in a lot of cases, then I'll say, say you're paying $50 a month for your software. Okay, that's fine. But then I'll say, hey, I got a really good deal. I'll charge you 200 now because, we've added all these features, even though you don't want any of them. And that's again something very bad in the software area. Which I often find like quite a lot of people kind of annoying because when I'm using a specific software for a task, whether it's building a website, whether it's checking backlinks, whether it's doing social media work, I generally want this to do that function. That's why I'm buying access to it or why I'm using software. I'm basically using it for that thing. Now, if it does something else I think is really cool, something else useful to me, then hey, great, do it. But for most people in general, when they keep expanding, what they're doing, that itself is where it becomes an issue. You generally find the whole software is actually crumble because they spend time wasting time and doing things people don't care about, and then the software eventually fails. I mean, a good example from one of the ones I used to use before, which I kind of felt was the case, with regard to Useloom used to be what exactly I recorded videos. So why exactly did I stop using Useloom? It just kept on failing. It kept on failing on my Chromebook, it kept on failing my Windows computers, and anything else I really tried. That's why I stopped using it. But in the past, if we were to go back in past, like say 2 years ago, using Loom was a fantastic piece of software. It was really great. Click your mouse, you record whatever you want. That was so great. They also had different versions, a free version, then they did a paid version. I basically joined the paid version for most of the time it was open. They also released a desktop app, and I'll be fair, the desktop app at a time when I first started using it, it was pretty good. Credit to them. But since they started focusing on AI sort of stuff, that itself basically brought the quality down. So be aware, including AI in things may sound cool, may make you sound important or fancy. Does it make the service better, the base core service better? If you can tell me it does, then hey, go with AI or go whatever you want to do, add on. Then cool, go for it. But if it makes your general service worse, which in most cases it does, then you're best to not do it. And getting more back into a wee bit into New Zealand before I end this, which might be worth sharing. From what I understand, please note I could be wrong here, but from what I was able to learn, they seem to get rid of some of their staff. Now, that's unfortunate, but unfortunately it's part of life regarding business investments going wrong, that kind of stuff. But anyway, once they'd done that, I noticed slowly the servers kept getting worse and worse. And I spoke to other people who were doing the same, sort of saying the same to me. So it's not just, a me thing. I spoke to other people who said the same thing. Now, I know sometimes you have to, unfortunately, make people redundant over lack of money, lack of sales, that kind of stuff. It does happen. But if your core features are getting worse, how can you keep offering a service? You can't. And that's really my point through the video, is to tell you, if you're going to design a software, if your software is to say, for example purposes, allow someone to code in Python. That's all you want to do. That's the core feature. Allow Python code to work on your software. If that's a core feature, then stick to that. Add in other things which people don't want or don't need. For example, if you're going to include something to allow Julia to work on, unless for some reason everyone who works in Python or uses your software wants that, then don't do it. If you want to include a different feature, do some market research. Ask the people, say, do you want Julia included? Do you want, another language in it, CSS or C language, whatever. If they say yes or some other feature, then hey ho, use it. If not, leave the software alone. In a lot of cases, you're making it worse. For another example, I'm not going to name it, but another example, I was using a software. It started working really good. I thought, this software is really good. I'll use it for a couple of months. I thought it was really good, and I was willing to, keep using for about even I'd say a year, potentially longer, but it seemed to work well. Okay, that sounds cool, doesn't it? But again, what happened? They tried to make it so much more complicated, try and make it harder, make add-in features no one needs, automatic interlinking, which again we already can do quite easy. Include ways to have the sitemap installed. Again, we don't need that. We just need to make content. That's it. And that's my thinking regarding things. And I hope you can hear me okay. If you can't, then please let me know. And sorry again about the video before. This is basically just an update. I've also used a bit of different word in here. Anyway, hope you have a good weekend. Bye.